Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Heat Ray Vision podcast. And I got myself, Hector, also known as C6. And with me, I got Jazzy.
What up?
And tonight, guys, welcome to another episode of Should You Buy? And we're going to be talking about Atomfall. But before we do, I'd like to remind you guys that you guys can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Make sure you follow our socials at Heat Ray Vision Podcast or go to heatrayvisionpodcast.com. You're going to see all of our links through there. Also, make sure you join the Discord, top link in the description. Join the Discord, guys. Come chat with us about video games, movies, TV shows, anything like that. But yeah, Atomfall.
Yeah, Atomfall was made by Rebellion Developments, guys. If you guys don't know who they are, you definitely know one of their games because they basically made all the Sniper Elite games. The zombie ones, every single one you see, it was made by them. This is kind of like their first new IP in how long? I don't even remember because I think they have another few games under their belt. But their main one, the one that is their big hitter, is Sniper Elite.
Yeah.
Because I remember they were like one of the first ones to do a game like that.
I think...
Or am I tripping?
Dude,
I know there's sniper games out there, but the way they did it...
Sniper Elite goes back, from what I remember, PS3, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Like, it goes way back.
I think they were the first ones to do that slow-mo shit.
Probably.
And then when like it hits a grenade, because I remember first playing it, and like it would do that slow mo shit, and you would hit a grenade, and the grenade would explode because you hit the grenade. Yeah. And I remember thinking, yo, that's so fucking raw, right?
You know, probably, dude, because I do remember that. All I know is that they've been in the game for a while. I mean, Rebellion. The only games I know them from is the Sniper Elite games. They did an Alien vs Predator video game on the PS3. They also did the Zombie Army franchise. Yeah. They did that. I know there's a new Zombie Army VR game that's just, I think it's just barely releasing. It's sometime this year.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Zombie Army game. But nonetheless, yeah, their baby is definitely, I want to say, Sniper Elite, for sure. And that is why it's super exciting that there is a new IP and a new project that's being worked, that was being worked on by them, with which is Atomfall. And Atomfall, I want to say right off the bat, man, is that it's their most ambitious game for sure.
That's facts.
Because they're taking on this genre that I don't know,
they've never done before.
Yeah, like
it's new to them.
A lot of people have been kind of saying that at first, right before the game came out, people were saying, "Oh, it's going to be like a Fallout type of game." A lot of resemblance.
And I would
to Fallout.
somewhat agree to that.
Yeah, that's,
somewhat.
I mean, somewhat for sure, like a Fallout light type of game for sure. I want to say it's completely like Fallout, but I can understand why people are making the comparison. If anything, the comparison that I mostly had with Atomfall was it reminded me a lot of We Happy Few from Compulsion Games. Not its atmosphere or tone, but more so of like the gameplay structure and like the world structure where we have these regions and stuff. It reminded me of We Happy Few and like the survival aspect. But you know what? Let's actually let's talk about the game premise essentially for Atomfall. And it's kind of vague. You are this nameless character. Yeah. You don't have a personality. You don't speak. You wake up in a bunker. And actually, we know before we dive deeper, I want to mention that the overall main thing is that it's after an atomic.
It's like a Fallout.
Like an atomic.
An explosion happened at a facility in this like European country, like England.
Yeah, it's called. Place.
I forgot the name of the place.
It's based on a real thing.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Oh shit! I did not know this. Oh wow.
Let me see. Wind scale.
Windenham? Was it that?
No.
Or is that one of the areas?
It's one of the areas.
Yeah, that's funny as fuck. Hell no. That is actually funny, huh?
So I think it's based off it's called Wind Scale. That's where it takes place in the game. And so there was this thing called the Wind Scale Fire, which occurred on October 10, 1957, was a nuclear accident at the Wind Scale Nuclear Complex in Cumbria, UK, or Cumbria. I don't fucking know. I think it's Cumbria.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it remains the worst nuclear accident in the country's history.
Wow.
So this game, that is the premise of this game. It's actually based off like a real life event.
And they just twisted it into their own version.
Essentially, yeah. That's what happened. Okay. So Windscale is an actual place.
I did not know that.
It's based on an actual event. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. So essentially, you are this nameless character that you don't speak or anything. You don't know who you are. You wake up in this bunker and you meet the scientist. And scientist, hey, I need some help. Mm-hmm. And you are kind of, that's pretty much it. You're thrown into the world, man. And you have to figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah. And I guess that's a perfect transition to like the visuals of the game, because immediately the shot, as soon as you step out of that bunker, right, you are thrown into, I would say, did you screenshot it?
I did.
You didn't?
I did.
Okay, I knew it. I was like, dang, you did it? It's such a cool shot right here.
No, I did.
Okay, you basically are given a really cool like visual of like what to expect in the world. In like the background, you see the facility, the nuclear power plant, whatever the fuck they called it in the game, and how fucked up it is. And you see how the world and the environment that you're about to basically embark on in the journey you're going to have. And visually, we should also add, we should probably put this in the beginning of the intro, the price of the game. We played it on Game Pass.
Yes.
But the game retails at $40. Right?
Yes.
It retails at $40. And so when I look at visuals and I know the game costs $40, I judge the visuals off $40. I want people to know this, right? If we review a game, for example, a game that we're going to do is Doom in the future, that bitch is going to be $70. I'm going to judge the visuals as a $70 game. Mm-hmm. So for a $40 game like
I think it's 50.
50? Was it 50?
50.
Okay, 50. For a $50 game, the visuals, I think, are good. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say I was fucking blown away by them, but for a $50 game, it's like, all right, I think it's good. This is what I expect out of a $50 game. So I think they did their job in terms of visual. There are parts in the game where I think do look really cool, like that first shot you get when leaving the bunker. I think this is an outstanding shot. But then there's parts of the game where I'm like, all right, yeah, this is what I expect from like a AA studio. You know what I mean? And this is their first attempt. I think it's really good for their first attempt, if I'm being honest with you. There's some cool designs in terms of the enemies, in terms of like these like robotic things. I think that are really cool and I think are very unique. The villages that you come across, I think, are ordinary villages. I do like how they do feel alive. They don't feel like empty ghost towns at all. The random things you run into the world, I think, are uniquely designed and you definitely feel the impact of this blast that went on in this game that you're in. So I think overall in terms of visually, I think they did their job. I think they did a great job.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree. Some of their Sniper Elite games actually look really good, and they kind of.
It's tough because I only ever played the zombie one, and I think one of their like the OG Sniper Elites, bro.
Really? You haven't played like the newer ones?
Not any of the newer ones.
They look good.
Okay.
They do look pretty good. I want to say they look just as good as Atomfall. I think Atomfall has a little bit more of an edge, but that's because it takes place in northern England, Windscale, and that vibe, like the post-apocalyptic vibe, the greenery, the type of textures that the building has, like just match. Yeah, it just matches everything, and I like the vibe, man. Visually, I think it's really cool. I took a bunch of screenshots. Some of them I used in my posts I would do on my social media, and it's really visually appealing, especially like the types of robots that there are. I really like the robots, the guns as well, and. You know, I think my only issue, I guess, in terms of visuals is that I wish that there was like a nighttime cycle.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There is no night.
There is no nighttime cycle. And I think, which we're going to get into more in the gameplay, but I think that could have maybe benefited the stealth.
Yeah.
To be honest. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, in terms of visually, yeah, it looks good. But I just wish that there was a nighttime cycle where I don't know. I feel like it'd work out a bit better. And another thing as well is visually it looks good, but it also is kind of, how do I say this? It's kind of repetitive because once you enter these regions, right? There are 4 different regions that you could explore in. They all kind of look similar. There's only one specific region that like is pretty much looks different in a certain area. And that's like the woods. But obviously, you know, it's kind of the woods. Yeah. But everything else, it looks, I guess, the same. And I don't know. I think I was just kind of expecting a more
diversity.
Yeah, a little bit more diversity in terms of the.
I can see where you're coming from, but I guess to me to kind of like rebuke it is like it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
To do that in this area in this
I
world.
think what would have helped is that nighttime cycle.
Yeah.
Because it would look different. Mm-hmm. So you get like, but no, it's constantly sunny and you're walking around and it feels like days aren't really going by. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, even though this game is relatively short, I actually managed to beat it. Mm-hmm. So I think I would be able to give my rating.
All right.
But it's relatively short, but still I would have liked if there was a nighttime cycle that would give a more variety in the terms of like visual, maybe the moon night and stuff. You see I said the moon night. It's moonlight.
Yeah.
I said moon night, god damn it. Moonlight. Maybe going through the trees or whatever, you're sneaking in the bushes. I feel like it would have helped the gameplay wise in terms of stealth. And I think it'll look visually better because I don't know. I personally just don't really like seeing the same thing like all the time, like the same type of texture, like colors.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
No, I can see that. I can see how that would affect. For me, I'm going to say I would disagree. It didn't really affect me that much. Mm-hmm. But for you, I can see why, because every area looks the same and feels the same.
Yeah, and
I guess to me, other aspects that aspect of the game just didn't really bother me. But I do agree with the fact that I think the nighttime cycle would have helped.
Yeah, and I guess
think that should have been a thing.
And maybe I'm just comparing it with We Happy Few because when We Happy Few, there are regions, right? And each region is like pretty different. Like you have a region that's run down, pretty dark and stuff. You have a region where there's like a bunch of flowers and stuff, and then you have the city region where it's a bunch of colorful lights and stuff. And I don't know. I think for Atomfall, I was just expecting, I guess, more diversity in color. And a little bit of design. I understand it's part of Northern England, but I think they could have done something with that. I mean, they did deliver in the wooded area. I thought that was pretty unique and it looked good. But yeah, I think even if you're bringing back to your point, or hey, it's a specific location, it's kind of hard to really have diverse in it. Okay, well, add a nighttime cycle. Because at night, it'll look different. It'll look way different at night, and I think that would have been enough.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I think that cycle would have been perfect. Actually.
Yeah, and it would have added definitely on with the gameplay, which we'll actually get into in a bit. Okay, so then music and sound design, man.
For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Unlike South of Midnight, where I had a lot to say, I'm gonna revert back to my old ways. Nothing really stood out to me in terms of music. If I'm being honest with you, if anything sticks out, it's usually a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Unlike South of Midnight, actually ended up being a good thing for them for that game specifically. But for this one, I really don't have much to say other than music was fine. I think overall, I guess the only thing I can really think that felt cool were the sounds for the guns. I really do like the sounds they use for the weapon because it makes it feel more not hardcore in terms of like, oh, it's badass. Hardcore in a sense where like, oh, I feel like I have to use this shit very wisely. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? Because ammo is not common in this game. Everything's very scarce. You have to use everything wisely. So when you use a gun, it sounds like, holy shit, I'm doing a lot of damage. It sounds very satisfying. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing I can say is that for the weapons, I think it adds to the survivalness of the game, if that makes sense. I know it's a weird like thing I'm saying, but like it's hard to describe like what I'm trying to say into like and put it into words, if that makes sense. But outside like music, didn't really notice anything. I'm not gonna say it was bad. Nothing really in terms of sound design, in terms of any other aspect of the game, nothing really stuck out for me that I can think of. Outside of the sounds used for the weapons. Yeah,
I think the weapons sound nice. Like you said, it's satisfying to use. Also, the combat when you're actually kicking an enemy or hitting them, I like the sound of it. Like the sound, I think plays a role in you feeling that. But the combat is like a different thing. We'll actually get into. But in terms of that, I like it. You know what's interesting is that this is a survival game, but the music or the soundtrack that's used in certain areas almost makes it feel like a horror a little bit. At least that's what I felt like when you're exploring a certain part of the map where it's really dark. And I guess this also kind of relates to the visuals. When it's dark and there's your flashlight, it's definitely dark, and I love the shadows and the limited light. Yeah. But the music that's in it, it's very somber, very like mysterious and kind of like, what the fuck? There's a part of I don't know if you're there yet because you haven't finished it. there's a part of a section in the game that I didn't like being in because of the environment of visually how it looked dark and like the music that was playing. It was almost eerie, mysterious, and I definitely enjoyed it because it kind of plays into what what you're doing in the game. You're kind of investigating what the hell's going on here.
Yeah.
So I think the music definitely helped. It almost felt like there were some creepy, eerie moments when you're exploring alone and you're wondering, oh shit, is there a robot there, or is there a specific creature? I don't fucking know. So I think that helped. And another thing too is once you beat the game, there is a dedicated original soundtrack or music, I should say, a song, I should say, a folklore song that's played at the end of the game when you beat it, and it's made for the game. And I ain't gonna lie, it's fire.
Oh, for real?
I personally like it. I can maybe play it to you after this. But I like it. In fact, it got stuck in my head. And like I found a YouTube video of someone that posted it on YouTube, and like they went into the files and found and got the song from the files.
No way.
And like uploaded it. Yeah, I like it.
That's cool. Someone actually did that.
Yeah. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
Yeah,
I think it's fire. It's catchy. It's stuck in my head. I like the vibe. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, going on to the vibe, the music and the eerie type of somber type of sounds and music definitely helped with my experience of like, oh my god, it's like a survival thing. I'm actually kind of. It's kind of spooky, man. I barely have ammo.
No, I know what you mean. It adds to the survival aspect.
Yeah,
to the game.
And I'm mostly talking like indoors. Like indoors, that's where I feel that way. And I like the visuals, but when you're outside, it's a lot more sunny and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely do like that. So now we'd actually get into the gameplay mechanics.
Okay, and this is where I have some things to say.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So in terms of gameplay for this game, Atomfall, I would really compare it to Fallout. This is where like I really draw the comparison to Fallout because I've played a couple of Fallout games, and in terms of melee and mainly melee, it's literally just like the same thing to me. The only thing that doesn't have is VATS. That's the only thing that's missing for me. And in terms of gunplay, it's similar, but in this game, if you get a headshot, the guy's dead.
Yeah,
that's Fallout. Really like. In Fallout, you get a headshot, it just does a lot more damage compared to every other body part, right? But other than that, gunplay is similar to Fallout. It's just in this game, a headshot, you're down, which I personally like a lot. It's very sad when you get a headshot. It feels satisfying as fuck. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go, right? But the one thing I guess I will say in terms of gameplay, in terms of combat, is this game has an element of you can play it stealthily. It is fucking impossible to fucking do it. I play every game at default difficulty. Whatever the game thinks I have to play it on, that's what I always play it on, right? So at the default difficulty, it is impossible to do anything sneakily because the AI in this game, the enemies AI, bro, they see you from like a mile away. Yeah, you can't do anything without getting noticed. If I try to walk up for walk behind a dude, somehow, some way, he'll detect me, even though I'm crouch walking behind him. Or let's say some dude's in the other room, and I'm over here in the living room. He's over there in the kitchen. I'll take the dude out in the living room. The dude in the kitchen will hear that. Yep. And I'm just like, okay, I realistically, maybe he does hear it. But I'm playing on default difficulty in a fucking video game. He should not be able to hear that unless I'm playing on a hard ass difficulty. Like I upped it. But for me, on a default difficulty, it is impossible to do anything stealthily, right? Like I said, if this was like a simulator where it's really depicting IRL situations, I get it. Or if I up the difficulty, I get it. But I'm playing on normal difficulty, whatever the game thinks I should be playing on, it should not be like this, bro. And it was hard for me, and I told Hector, but I'm like, bro, I can't do anything sneaky in this game. And I like being sneaky. I love stealth gameplay. I love doing it, right? Yeah. But it's impossible for me to do in this game. In this game, I had to just force myself sometimes like, yeah, I have to go out here. Even though I see a vision of me doing it quietly, but I'm like, that guy's going to see me. The way this game plays and how the enemy AI works, this dude's going to see me sneaking up on him. It's impossible. I'd rather just shoot my way through this or like fight my way through this. Yeah. That makes sense.
No, I agree.
But honestly, that's really like a really big critique I have is like, if you're going to have a stealth element to the game, make it useful, man. You know what I mean? Like it's practically non-existent. It's in there, but it's non-existent because I never go to it. If that makes sense. But other than that, I guess I can talk about how to like progression goes within the game. Once you're thrown into the world, like we said in the beginning of the game, where when you leave that bunker, this game, and this is where my comparison stops from Fallout. Unlike in Fallout, it'll tell you where to go. And this game tells you where to go, but it doesn't guide you to where you need to go. It says, I forgot what exactly it told you to do. I think it tells you to go to the plant or whatever the fuck. But it doesn't tell you how to access it. It doesn't tell you what path you need to go. You need to figure that shit out on your own. And on that part of the game, I actually really like. It doesn't hold your hand. You actually have to investigate yourself, go explore the world, and naturally you'll see things. You'll pick up notes and like, hey man, I heard, and let's say I pick up a note as I'm exploring the world. In that note, it will say, hey, there's a secret entrance to where, I need to go there. There's a secret entrance if you just go through this building and through that window. Oh shit, for real? You go to there, you find that entrance you needed to find, and that is super fucking satisfying because you figured it out on your own. And I didn't expect that. I thought I was going to be really annoyed with this. Like I was kind of annoyed with it in Dragon's Dogma 2 because that game was on the level of that shit, bro. That shit annoyed the hell out of me. But surprisingly, I really enjoyed it here in this game just because, and it's hard just because, I don't know, maybe because it was easier to find clues for me in this game compared to Dragon's Dogma where that's a whole different scenario, right? But in this game, I actually really enjoyed the fact that they didn't hold your hand and you actually had to like somewhat spend time in the world and figure it out on your own. And as you spend time in this world, you come across different side things. You may come across this note that tells you about a bunker that wasn't on your map. But now because you picked it up and you were exploring for that entrance you needed to find, you now found this note like, hey man, there's a bunker here with a lot of loot. So then you go to that bunker that's marked on your map, you go there, you find a lot of good, you find a bunch of ammo, you find maybe a new weapon, there's probably a couple of enemies there, but you find a lot of good loot. You find some more, what's the upgrade shit called? Then you level up your skills, the stims or?
I think, aren't they called skill books or something?
Something like that, boy. You find more of those and that's how you level up your skill tree. And dude, I love it. It just feels so, they reward you for exploring. And that's why I love it. Because you feel actually rewarded for exploring in the world. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, well, you said a lot.
I know.
I got to backtrack a little bit. But I mean, since we're on the topic of that, yeah, because they're not labeled as primary quests or secondary quests. They're called leads. Yeah. And that's the point. You are this unnamed character and you're trying to figure out what's going on and who to trust. And that's these leads that you get. You're able to choose whether you want to follow this lead or another lead. Anything, basically, you get to choose where you want to go with the story. And that's really cool, especially the whole exploration, man. I love the exploration in this game. Whenever you find something new or whenever you figure something out, it feels rewarding. And I remember when I was exploring, I went into this like abandoned cave. It was just some random cave. And I found like a nice ass rifle. All right, guys. Sorry about that. The HRV headquarters is getting a little bit
hectic.
Yeah, a little bit hectic, man. So yeah. Anyway, I was saying how I was in this cave and I found this like really cool rifle. It was a really cool gun that like none of the soldiers would carry. Yeah. So I'm assuming you could only find that gun in that cave. And that's what I mean about about being how exploration actually rewards you and it feels rewarding. You know. But anyway, I do love the lead system. I love because it makes it. Because when certain games have primary quests, secondary quests, okay, cool, right? With the leads, it kind of makes every lead like important, feel important. Secondary quests, you already know it's like it's not a big deal. It's a side quest type of thing. That's what I meant, side quest. It's like whatever. Whereas here, you don't know which is a side quest or not. Like they all feel important, and you have to figure it out. And that's what I really, really like about this game. And I think it's I don't think I've ever seen a game do that. At least the games that I've played. You said maybe Dragon's Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma it divides it up for you.
I got you.
But I'm trying to remember if it divided. I was like, hey man, this is side. What the main is. Like what the overall main mission is. But the side quest, like after that, like everything's a side quest to the main. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It just tells you where to go, and once you get there, there'll be moments where it's like, okay, I'm in this area. Now what do I do in this area? It's telling me I have to do this, but how do I find that? But in terms of Atomfall, I think it's different because it legit tell you, all right, go to this location. All right, how you get in there, I don't fucking know. Who you need to talk to? I don't fucking know. We'll give you a name, but go find here's the name. Go explore this area, and maybe you find notes where it gives you the location of that name. Like it's like another level of this shit, bro.
Yeah.
And you think it would be a bitch, but it's not. Because in Dragon's Dogma, and I can spoil it because it's a fucking game came out already, right? Like it's the one mission I always tell you where like it told me to go in this area. It's a highlighted area, and I had to go talk to somebody. Oh, somebody. It didn't give me a name. It's like you talk to somebody, and they'll activate the next step to this quest, right? So I talked to everybody in this location. I'm like, bro, what am I doing wrong? I know for a fact I'm in the right area. Turns out I just had to talk to some priest twice in order to activate it. In this game, there's none of that bullshit where you talk to this guy twice, then you'll activate it.
Yeah.
In Dragon's Dogma, I had to talk to a character, an NPC, twice to to advance the story. And I'm just like, bro, how am I supposed to know that? I talked to him once. I don't think he's the guy. The shit doesn't progress. I don't think it's him.
Yeah.
How the fuck was I supposed to know? I was supposed to talk to him twice. I had to YouTube it. That's where I mean, like, dude, that's annoying. Here, I never encountered any situation like that where it's like, okay, it's telling me to go here. All right, how do I get there? Okay, I'm just gonna explore this world because I'm in the right area, like the right region. But how do I get there? I'm looking up. Oh, this mentioned that name in the quest. I go, okay, bet. Let me follow this, and boom, you figure it out. It's like, bro, that's so fucking rewarding.
Yeah,
like it's hard. Like it's not easy. You'll spend time doing this. I'm not saying like okay, I'm in this region. I'm gonna find it in 5 minutes. No, you're gonna spend like a good half hour, maybe an hour trying to find this shit, bro.
Yeah, trying to figure it out.
But during that half hour, you might run into shit that rewards you for exploring.
And it feels good to like once you figure it out.
And you put everything together.
I think it's really unique, man. They also do carry, I want to say, like when you talk to NPCs, you have like certain dialogue options you could choose and maybe learn more of the lore, pick up notes and stuff like that to give you more context and stuff. And I guess speaking of the NPCs, we also have like this cool barter system.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen it before, man. So like there's no currency in the game.
No, there's no currency.
So yeah, there's no currency in the game. You have to barter. So you have to give up stuff to get some stuff.
Yeah.
And certain people want certain things. Like, yeah, it's more favorable. You have this like, what is it called? Like a balancing scale.
Like a scale, yeah.
Yeah, like a scale. And you have to put stuff that you're gonna give, and then and put stuff that you're gonna take, and you get to see if it balances out. Like it's like an even trade.
Yeah, and that's the only way you can ever get it. It has to balance out. It can never be in favor of you or in favor of the other person you're trading with.
And I think that barter system is really, really unique. And I personally enjoyed it. And I do like that certain traders want more things. Like for example, maybe there's a trader that wants more explosives. So if you give him one grenade, you could take a bunch of that person's stock because they find that more valuable. So I think that's really cool. The barter system is really unique. Yeah. I'm like, interesting. So I was kind of confused. I'm like, all right, so what's the currency like? And I'm like, wait, there's no currency.
The currency is your items.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, and that kind of plays into the survival factor because it's like, fuck, do I really want to get rid of my ammo, or like, do I really want to give away my bandages
or your
like,
potions?
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, it really, you really have to think about what you're giving away, and that's another thing too. Okay, so in your inventory, it's kind of it's not that many slots.
It's limited.
It's not many.
It's
slots.
a lot, but it's limited once you start gathering.
Yeah, and I think this is maybe a negative that I have. It's kind of like that. I don't really know if I like. I don't know if I like it, man. Is that certain items don't stack. So like if you have 4 bandages, they don't stack. They take up four fucking slots.
Yeah, square, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, no way. And I get it that it's trying to like, it's survival type of thing. But I feel like that's almost kind of like, all right, man, but I feel like that's just doing too much, man. Like in game logic, when you have certain items like that, they kind of stack.
They should stack.
You know, they should definitely
I guess I never really thought of it. Like I just accepted that it was that way. And it was annoying because like once you start collecting things and you start to build up an inventory, it's like fuck. I want to pick up this this one buff where if you take it, your melee becomes more damaging towards enemies, right? Like I want to pick that up, but like I don't want to drop the anti-rad shit.
But
anti-radiation. I mean,
here's the thing. I guess is I don't know if you noticed, at least for me, because I was exploring a lot. There's like a bunch of material.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of different materials. So you could craft a bunch of things.
Yeah.
My only issue is, okay, cool. I have all of this stuff to craft, but I got no space. You know what I mean?
To make them. And
I
not
got
only
no
that,
space. It's like, oh fuck.
I don't know if there was an upgrade for it, because I didn't get that far into the game. But not only that, it takes a lot of material to make a simple bandage. Have you noticed that? Like the cost.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but to be fair, like
I get it.
I didn't really have an issue with that, bro, because I had so much.
So much.
I was exploring, bro. I was like,
I know.
You know?
I guess for me, I had so much, I maxed out of it. Mm-hmm. And whenever I needed to craft it, what's it called? It's either I had no space, which was annoying, or what's it called? Let's say I needed something, but then I ran out because I already made like 2 bandages already. I was like, oh shit, it requires. I forgot what it required, but it required 4 or something.
Yeah, it
required like either like 4 paper or some shit, and I was like, well, I'm fucking out. I only made fucking 3 things. Like I'm already out. Like, well, holy shit, god damn it. So I that's the one thing that annoyed me. I wish there was no capacity in terms of the materials you could store, or just make the capacity higher.
Yeah, because I mean that's another thing too. There's a capacity with the materials that you get, and also a cap with the ammo. Yeah. So that's really interesting. You know, it got to the point, dude, where I maxed out my ammo and I couldn't pick up any more ammo.
Yeah, same.
And I'm like, okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna just go gun blazing now. And I think I don't know, man. That kind of bugged me because it's like, okay, cool. I'm capped out on my ammo. I don't have that much ammo to use. So now it kind of leaves, okay, now maybe I could use, there's no point for like stealth is what I'm trying to get at. The stealth is already kind of frustrating, is actually disappointing in my opinion, you know, especially with certain, I don't know if you're there yet, like I said, you haven't beaten it yet, but there is like a certain type of enemy creature that when you're sneaking up behind them, they immediately turn, even though you already been sneaking. I don't know. It's really annoying. Wow. It really frustrated me, man. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? But either way, you could be far away and they spot you, bro. And it's like, I feel like you shouldn't be able to see me right now. Yeah, and I understand it might be realistic, but I'm talking about like game logic, man. In video,
I know what you
games,
mean. Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense.
It's one of these where I'm like, bro, is this like a sneaking simulator where everything's taken seriously, and like, or am I playing a video game?
But to be honest, man,
video game.
It's not. I feel like it's not worth it. I'm like, and what you said. Okay, bet I'm gonna just go gun blazing. I have the ammo for it. I'm capped out of my ammo. Let me just go ahead and do that. And stealth is kind of irrelevant. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Like, I didn't really do just that. Get rid of it.
But the gunplay, you know, it's funny. A lot of people were saying that the gunplay was not great. Honestly, man, I thought it was pretty okay.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. It was satisfying when you did get the headshots and stuff. I really, really enjoyed the headshots. I was
always aiming for the head, dude.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely satisfying. The combat itself, like the melee combat, it is a bit clunky. It is.
It's simple. You just kick the guy and then you just stab him multiple times.
Yeah, there's no block.
Yeah,
there's no block. There's no you can't parry or anything like that. So I don't know. I thought the combat maybe they could have used the block or whatever. I get it. If you kick them, it stuns them. But even then, I think a simple block or maybe a parry system would have been kind of basic, and I think should have been there. But in terms of actually you swinging the weapons and whatever, I thought it was fine. It did feel clunky. I can understand maybe some people didn't like it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Most of the time, I was using my guns, man. I'm gonna be real. Like I rarely.
Once I realized there was a cap on the ammo, I was like, bro, I should probably just use this shit and then just save up again.
And that's what
I only used melee whenever I was low on ammo.
And here's the thing, man. And that's what, like, I don't know. I think that the resources, the amount of resources that you could actually find in the world is maybe a bit like unbalanced because, okay, I have a lot of ammo. Okay, cool. I can't pick it up though.
Yeah.
Because I'm maxed out. Oh shit, I have a bunch of crafting materials, but I can't craft because I have 5 bandages and they're taking up 5 of my slots and they can't stack.
Yeah, and you want as many bandages as possible because you take damage in this game.
Yeah, you do, absolutely.
Like 3 hits and you're probably dead, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I won't lie. There are some sections where like it is kind of tough, even for the default setting. So I'm like, what the fuck? That kind of bothered me, man. I'm not gonna lie. I wish that we were able to stack up our resources. But yeah, I guess another thing too is with the skill trees. I thought the skills in the game, because you don't get them there's not like a leveling type of system. You find them. You have to find these. I forgot what they're fucking called, man. It's been a while. It's like a book or something. Yeah, like you have to learn.
Bro,
the skill.
I legit got one of those books in like my final session of the game because
dude, really?
Yeah, because.
What the fuck?
What's it called?
I found a decent amount.
I did it, bro. I just didn't. Maybe I didn't pick them up.
Yeah.
But legit, it was either my second to last or my last one where I was like, I was like, what's this? I was like, oh, what the fuck? New skill? I was like, wait, new skills?
Yeah.
I legit thought what we had in the beginning was all we had. It was one of my negatives.
Oh, no, dude.
It was one of my negatives. I was like, bro, what are these skills? They're trash. You only have these available and they all suck. And so once I like that, I was like, oh, I have to find these motherfuckers. I go, what the fuck? I'm like, where have they been, dude? I was like, I haven't run into any.
Honestly, if you just explore, you'll find them. Like either on the ground or air in certain areas. Yeah.
Dude, I was like, bro, if I've been just walking by these, because like,
yeah, for sure. Absolutely. If you're not, that's the thing too. If you're not exploring in this game, and honestly, I think you should, man. That's like that's what I really like about this game. If you aren't exploring, it's definitely gonna like negatively impact you and like your skills, because you need to explore and find these skill books and learn skills to actually have a better gameplay experience. But to be honest, man, I thought the skills were kind of generic, kind of
lackluster.
Yeah, they're kind of basic. And to be honest, some of the skills I just felt like were kind of unnecessary.
Like the throwing one.
Like the throwing. No, not the throwing one. I have two in mind. And I guess maybe one of them, it's like, oh, maybe you should get that. But no, man, I think if it's part of the core gameplay, it should already be there. One of them is that make your takedowns more quieter. I don't know if you saw that one. The reason why I think it's kind of useless that's because like, well, it's kind of useless because stealth, I should already be doing that
at the quietest level.
Yeah, like I already should be doing that. It's part of the core gameplay. You know, another one that I thought was kind of useless. I kind of like laugh. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why am I gonna need this? And I was playing on controller. It wasn't like I had crazy aim with my mouse. Is that it's there's a skill for reduce weapon sway.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Mario. When you're aiming and shooting, is there weapon sway for you?
I don't really feel, I didn't feel that either. I was getting headshots pretty easily, man. I'm be honest with
you. Dude, me too. Dude, there was a part where I literally said out loud, damn, I'm John Wick in this bitch. Because like I'm like doing headshots and I was playing on controller.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that skill, I was like, huh, reduce weapon
aiming's already easy enough. It was like,
yeah, so I'm like, why is that here? And I think that is what bugged me. It's like, okay, the skills themselves are already kind of generic. Okay, we've seen them before, but there are some skills here that we don't really need, and it's like it's not really a skill that's gonna benefit you.
Yeah, I know. At least for me, the one that I picked out was that throwing one, because I'm just like, bro, I don't want. Which one
is that one?
It's the one where you can throw your melee weapons. It just does more damage and it stuns them longer. I'm just like, I don't want to throw my knife, because like, what if for some reason I don't pick it up again? Like, what if I'm in the heat of combat and I do it to fuck around and I just forget to pick it up, or I die and I lose it or some shit like that, dude. That's why I found it pretty useful. I'm like, dude, I don't really like that ability to begin with.
Yeah.
So that's the only one I really found useless to me. Because then again, I didn't get a lot of them leveled up my skill tree because I didn't run into these bugs.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I fucked up on. And I explored too, which just annoys me.
And here's the thing. I mean, well, okay, did it ruin, I guess, your experience? Like, do you think you needed those skills?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest with you, the only one I really felt that I needed was the more health one. The one for more health.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The reduced heartbeat. That's another thing.
That one, the reduced heartbeat, that was a good one. The kick, it lasts longer when you kick them. That one, and after that, bro, I don't. The ones that were available initially, I felt like most of them were useless. I feel like.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and okay. So that's another cool feature in this game too. That's pretty unique. I haven't really seen anything like it. Is you have this like heartbeat type of.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. Yeah,
you have this heartbeat thing. So as you're jumping, as you're running, as you're moving, your heartbeat increases, and therefore that's when your like weapon is swaying like crazy. That is when you are more louder, when like you're on your footsteps and your takedowns and stuff. So okay, I get it. Maybe they made those skills for that. But to be honest with you, bro, there were times where I wasn't even jumping or running while shooting. Like I would just stand still.
Yeah.
Boom. Headshot. Maybe we have to increase the difficulty, bro, or something. I don't know. But now looking back, maybe that is what it was for. Maybe as you're running or whatever, your heart beats up and your weapon is actually swaying. Maybe it'll help.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But to be honest, man, I don't know.
I mainly got that heartbeat upgrade for the sprinting.
No, that's like absolutely. That's the only like use. I'm gonna be like useful skill, to be honest. But even then, Mario, I'm not gonna lie to you. I never really the heartbeat thing never really bothered me to the point where like, oh, I need to get this fucking skill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you play kind of slow and like map out things, if you have enough, if you explored a lot and you have a lot of ammo, you shouldn't worry. You wouldn't worry too much about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you use your resources wisely, you'll never have to worry about being in a fucked up situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're always.
The only time I was in that situation is when I ran out of bandages and I didn't have any material to craft anymore because I was like, bro, it requires so much. I'm already out of the shit I need. Yeah. But other than that, in terms of weapons, you always have a melee weapon.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, sometimes you're fucked if you're fighting IRL humans and they have a gun.
That's very true. And then there's also like certain food that you can eat that gives you little mini buffs and stuff, especially towards the heartbeat
like TT, even slower, lowers your heart rate even more, or makes it more slower than it already is. There's buffs where like it makes you do more damage. There was an upgrade where like your barter, that one's also pretty useful too, I guess.
It is.
One where like your items are worth more.
Yeah,
that one's pretty good. So like I said, there's cool ways to like buff yourself in this game.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. For sure. I just wish that like every skill point or every skill thing was actually useful. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because some of it just wasn't, I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of pointless, you know? But anyway, in terms of gameplay, and I think we covered everything, man. We covered about the good. We covered about the bad. Want to get into the story and the writing?
Yeah, we can.
So, okay, personally, man, I think that's like, I really like the story, at least the journey. I love the lead system. I love getting to know these different characters. I love piecing together the notes and the lore and the world building. It's really fascinating. It's really intriguing. I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm vibing this to the point where I'd be at work and I'd be like, honestly, man, I want to go home. I want to go home and play, bro. Because like I'm on this lead and I got to figure out like, what the fuck is going on. And some of the NPCs, we mentioned some of them. They're pretty intriguing. Yeah. And what I like about this game, this kind of goes into also in the gameplay category, is that there are certain, you can either trust a certain NPC.
I know what you mean.
Or you could maybe go behind their back.
Yeah, I know exactly what
you could do whatever the fuck you want. And I really like that because you're following a lead, you're following your own style. Do you trust this person? Do you not? There's a specific NPC where I'm like, you know what? This person seems cool. I'm gonna trust it. But then as you got to like, you're doing more of their story, you're like, nah, this person's crazy, bro. I'm
at the point, bro, where I'm just like, I don't think I like anyone. I'm just doing her. I'm doing this chick, and I'm doing what she said because I think like she'll fuck me over the least if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but like there was one where like it was his military figure, and I was following him around. And I go, bam, I'm gonna do his, and as I do it, I'm like, man, you know what? This guy, I don't fuck with this guy.
Yeah, I mean, neither. I'm like,
and then I meet this other person who wants me to fix these towers for her. Yeah, and I go, oh, I'm gonna do her. And then you learn more about her. I'm like, you know, wait. She's on some shady shit, bro. I don't know if I trust her.
That's what I'm saying.
And then you meet someone else, and I was like, I don't know if I like you from the jump, but like,
dude.
At least I know from the jump I don't like you, and you're telling me that like you have your own interests at least.
Absolutely,
and that makes sense. That's why I was following her where I left off, right? And I ended up fucking over the military guy. Oh, it was
so fun. No, yeah, it's really cool.
You get invested with these characters,
exactly, and there's various ways how you can approach it, and so we do know that there are multiple endings. So that's pretty cool, interesting. I like that there are multiple endings, especially with the lead system. Is like you get to decide, I guess, who you want to help, who you want to backstab, and ultimately what ending you get. Yeah. So you could go about this game in various of different ways, to be honest. And I think that's what I really like about the game is the journey to it. Because once we get to the actual ending, personally, Mario, I don't think the ending was bad. I also don't think it was great. I thought it was kind of unsatisfying, in my opinion. Leading up to the ending, I'm like, okay, you know what? This is actually pretty cool, pretty fire. But I mean the ending, like where it's okay, here's a couple minutes and then fucking end credits. Yeah. Where I thought it was kind of lackluster and it didn't really do it for me, man. I'm like, interesting. So after I got my ending, I went on YouTube and I looked up all the other endings. Yeah. Because I'm like, yo, fuck, I'm not going to play this bitch 6 more times or whatever. So I looked up all the other endings. I'm like, okay, I suspected that. Okay, cool. But it's pretty much the same.
Just like the ending, a little bit different in each one.
Okay, so is it really a spoiler? Would it be a spoiler if I told you the format of the ending? No. Like the structure? No. Not what happens, but the structure. No. Okay, so the ending that you get in Atomfall, depending on what leads you do or whatever, is like almost not like it's pictures, bro. Like stills, and it tells you like what happens and whatever the
that's the ending?
That. There's no animation. There's no
that is unsatisfying as fuck. What the hell?
You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, and that's where I was like, oh man, like I wish the ending was a little bit more satisfying.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's interesting because like, oh, you did this or whatever. I'm like, okay, you know what? I like it, but I wish I got to see that instead of just like pictures. So I thought that was really interesting. I think that was an interesting approach that they did that. And I mean, I get it. If it's multiple endings, I feel like that's maybe the easiest way to display them versus, you know, cranking out like cutscenes or whatever. Because there's no cutscenes here. Obviously, it's like a Fallout type of thing where you just talk to NPCs and you have your certain dialogue. So I understand that there's no cutscenes because your character, you don't know who you're playing as. So I understand why they went that way. But for whatever reason, I feel like it could have been a little bit better. I just thought it was kind of unsatisfying in the conclusion. But yeah, that's what I got to say about the ending. It's not terrible, but it's also not great.
Yeah.
I think it's just, okay, cool. But leading up to it, and the leads and getting to know people and all that shit, I think that's like the meat.
Yeah.
That's the meat of the game. We're like, oh yeah, this is fun. This is interesting. Hell yeah, I figured this out. I feel rewarded. Cool. As I'm exploring, I'm learning about the lore and it's giving me more insight whether I should trust this person or help them. Oh, cool. I found this gun because I explored. I found new skills. Like that is the meat of the game, and I really do enjoy that. But in terms of the story and and everything, it's the premise is cool, interesting. The gameplay that leads towards the ending I thought was cool. I'm like, okay, cool, we're doing something awesome. But the very end, like the ending from the last couple minutes to end credits, I was like, it was kind of lackluster. Bit, man.
I guess for me, I can only speak on, I forgot how many hours I put in, like the hours I put into the game, the couple hours I had. Like, I think it was like almost 10 hours I had into it.
Yeah, it's a pretty short game.
It's short.
You could beat this bitch in like 5 hours probably if you just know what to do, bro.
Yeah, but you probably could, right? But what's it called? For me, it was interesting. I was hooked on it, but I'm not gonna say I was like, oh my god, I'm 100% invested in this shit. You know what I mean? There are parts where I feel like are lackluster to me, or it's like, I'm not that hooked right now. To me, the parts where I always got hooked on was when I found more info about the main story. But in terms of these side characters, they were interesting, but that's where they always slowed down for me a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm kind of the same way where I like the journey of it.
Yeah, the journey.
I like the journey of it all. The journey's cool. And the main overall story is interesting to me. These side stories they're okay, but I'm not gonna act as if I was hooked on them. I'm not being completely honest with you. But the journey is what hooked me. Because I genuinely did like the journeying this world and discovering shit about it and exploring it. If that makes sense. Just coming across shit where it's like, oh shit, what's this? Like, what the fuck? There's more to this shit? I didn't know that. So, but in terms of writing, I think writing is good for an RPG where you get to make your choice. I think writing's good. And I like the option you get. You're able to express yourself the way you want to, which I think is very important. A game that didn't do that was Dragon Age. You know, every response felt... Dragon Age to Velgar should be more specific. Where every response I picked in that game felt the same. So in this one, you really do feel the ability to express the way your character... The way you want your nameless character to act.
No, yeah, for sure, absolutely, and like there are consequences. Like if you, the moment you backstab someone, okay, it's cool, over. It's over.
They're not cool with you, And
also another thing that's pretty cool is that you could kill them too.
Yeah,
you could just kill them, and then once obviously they die. You so long, right? Yeah. So it's
important to save. I was saving a lot. Yeah, I was saving a lot.
You know, I did too. So it's very important to save for sure. And it's also very important to like maybe who you trust, and that's what I like, man. I love because
I don't know who to trust, bro. I'm
that's what I'm saying.
I go, bro. Who do I fuck with? I can't fuck with this guy no more because I fucked him over. But like between these two, I'm like, bro, I don't like either of you. But like one of you is leading me out of here.
There were moments where I would get information for a certain from a certain NPC, and then I meet another NPC, and they're telling me the opposite, and I'm like, who the fuck do I trust? And then as you're exploring, you know, you get that phone call, which I won't go into spoilers, but you get a phone call. And that phone call is like,
don't trust.
Blah, 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 blah. Don't trust this person.
What the fuck?
And it's like, who the fuck do I trust? And that is the beauty of this game that I really like, is that every lead, every quest feels important. You are thrown into the world. You are supposed to figure out what really happened. And then you get to decide, okay, you know what? I'm gonna rock with this person. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna backstab this person, and that is what I really like, man. The fucking journey, the exploration. But yeah, okay. I think that's, at least for me, man. I think that's everything. That's all I like. That's everything.
I guess the only thing I have to add is performance. Okay, and that's on PC, at least for me.
You had issues?
I had a little bit of just like frame rate issues, bro. And
really?
Like, but it would only happen during combat.
Oh, you know what, dude?
Just in combat.
I guess, yeah.
It would only drop in combat for whatever, every now and then. And it was annoying because it happened a lot. If it happened one time, I'm not going to bring it up.
Yeah.
But it happened very often during combat. I'm just like, bro, like, personally, it always take me out.
Personally, because I also played it on PC, I didn't have that issue. But I did have an issue.
What?
And it only happened to me once, and apparently it was a big issue on the Xbox version of Atomfall. There was an audio issue.
Oh, for real?
What some of the audio issues that Atomfall themselves, like the Rebellion, actually came out and said, "Oh, we're aware of the issue. We're going to fix it." And I think they fixed it maybe a couple of days after I finished it, but they ended up fixing it. So what the issue was is, for whatever reason, as soon as you like enter a new area, or maybe you're done fighting or whatever, the audio just cuts out, bro.
Oh, you know what?
You don't hear any audio.
It happened to me once in a bunker. I was like, yo, what the fuck happened to the audio?
Dude, I'm not... I had to restart my game.
Yeah, same here. I had to restart it because I thought I had to... At first, I reloaded. I was like, oh, it's probably running a bug. Let me just reload. Didn't work. I was like, what the fuck happened to my audio? I went to the main menu.
Yeah.
Didn't work either. Yeah. I go, what the fuck? So I rebooted. I'm like, bro, if this don't work, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
So I had two different instances where like... it was like around the same time. So at first, my audio just cut out.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I have no audio. I'm like, I thought something was wrong with my record. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I realized, oh no, it's the game. And then I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna just enter this area. And I enter this area. And you know how like there's like sound effects and shit? So that sound effect kept playing, like in a loop. I'm like, what the fuck is? And I got scared because I'm like in an area that's kind of spooky, like kind of eerie. I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? What the fuck is that? I'm like,
yeah.
And then I realized it was just like a loop. I'm like, oh my god, I'm having these audio issues. And then it just cut out again. I'm like, no fucking way. So I had to restart my game.
Wow.
And once I did that, no more issues. I didn't encounter any audio.
Yeah, but
audio
after that one time, it never happened to me again.
Yeah. Same thing with like frame rate drops. I never had any frame rate issues.
I had that, bro. It was annoying.
So yeah, that's the only issue that I came across, like in performance wise, was the audio.
No, for me, it was just
the audio,
the frame rate.
The frame rates.
It was just the frame rate, and that audio issue only happened to me one time.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest. One time, but that, other than that, I had nothing
apparently
else to say.
on Xbox, it was like a bigger issue. Like people constantly said.
It kept going out.
Like it kept going out. Like, dude, I just be playing. Like I remember I saw people saying like, I'm just playing for 15 minutes and it happens, or 30 minutes and it always happens, and I have to constantly boot up my game.
Yeah, I can see how that did. Yeah.
So I could definitely see why that was like an issue. I'm like, holy crap! Like, thank God I didn't have that, because I would have been annoyed, bro.
Yeah, same here.
Because at first when it happened, I was freaked out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But then I restarted it, never happened again. So I was, I guess, lucky.
Yeah.
But Rebellion, they were aware of the issue. They made a statement on the official Atomfall page.
Yeah.
Saying, hey guys, we're aware of the audio issue. We're going to be fixing it. We're going to be patching it soon. And I think they did. They
okay. Well, that's good. They patched it quick at least.
No, yeah, for sure. Because a lot of people were complaining. And okay, so I think that's it, right? That is everything. I think we should go into our rating.
You can give it an actual rating.
I could actually.
I can't. I guess I'll go with. Listen, for a $50 game, I think this game has a lot of positives. The fact that you get the exploration is rewarded. I think visually it does its job. Audio design, I think, is good. The bright spot is, I think, it's the story and the exploration, in my opinion. And for the price point that it's at, and I think this is what really $50, right? And for the length it's at, I think it's fine for the price point and the length. You can make it way longer than like the actual whatever like the default is, right?
Yeah.
I think if you just focus on the main story, it's like 10 hours or some shit, like, or 5 hours you said. But you can easily make this like a 30-hour gameplay, like a 30-hour like
that's true,
like run time. If I'm being honest with you, if you do everything right. Honestly, I was I when going into it, I didn't have high expectations or like high hopes it was gonna be an amazing game or anything like that. But I left where I left in the game really enjoying what I was playing. And I got it on Game Pass, but would I pay $50 for it? I think I would. I think I would pay $50 because I think there's enough there to justify $50.
Really?
Yeah. I know it's lacking in terms of gameplay and the fact that the stealth is basically just impossible to do. but I think the exploration is so good and so fun to do, and the story is good enough to the point where it keeps you hooked. The main story, that is, where I think it justifies the price point. Performance-wise, I think it's fine. Like I said, I only had frame rate drops every now and then during combat, which was annoying, yes, but like it's nothing crazy where I'm like, no, don't buy it at all, right? If you for sure have Game Pass, for sure play it. It's a guaranteed download on Game Pass. But if you really want to pay for it, I think $50 is fine. For this game, I think it's fine. If it was 40, I'll say buy it right now. It's only $40. But for 50, I think if it was like 60, I'd be like, nah, it's not worth 60. But 50, I think it is worth it.
If you are like, I know you said you didn't beat us, you can't necessarily give it a rating, but as of right now, you said you put like about 10 hours or something.
Yeah.
What rating are you at as of right now from what you've seen?
From what I've seen, I probably would have given it a 7. I think it's a good game.
That's where I'm looking at, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm at a 7 with this game. And here's the thing, 7. That's obviously a good rating from us. So 7. Yeah, I would give this a 7, bro. I think this is a 7. I think it's a good game. I still think about it from time to time. Like I think it's fun, but there are some issues that I do have with it. It's it's kind of strange because even though the issues are there and like very noticeable, and even like you already know my satisfaction with the ending. I still like it. I still like it. And I'm like, I like in the future, I don't know how many years, I would go back to it and be like, you know what, man, I kind of want to go back to this, man. I actually like this. Another thing too, I forgot to mention that's like a positive is that as you're playing the game, there are certain items that you need to progress through the game. And what's really cool is that there are various ways to get that item.
Yeah.
That's what's really fucking cool.
I got it a way that it was different from like the main way to get it.
Yeah. So like that's really cool. And it again, it kind of feeds back into the immersion and stuff that you feel like, oh yeah, I'm able to do what I want and trust who I want and backstab who I want. So that's really fucking cool. But I agree. For me as a rating, because I actually played it from beginning, man, to end, and I saw all the endings. Yeah, I'll give this a 7, man. I think it's a good game.
It's a good game.
Now, should you buy it? Ooh. Now that's a good fucking question, man. $50 for Atomfall. Game Pass, I agree with Mario. If it's on Game Pass, I think it's worth checking out. Absolutely. To buy though for $50, it's difficult, man, because I can understand why I understand that maybe this game might not be for some people.
Oh, it's like for Hob, I would not. I don't think I would like this game.
Yeah, maybe, right? Probably. But for $50, man, I think I'm okay with that. I'm gonna be honest. I actually like the game.
There's enough there for like, you know what? I think it is worth 50.
Yeah.
If it was 40, it's like a guaranteed yes for me.
Yeah.
But for 50, I was like, all right, you're kind of pushing it, but there's enough there for me to be like, all right, you guys can pay 50 for this.
Yeah. No, yeah. I definitely agree. And it just sucks because I wish that maybe the ending was a lot more satisfying because that is, at least to me, is what hooked me. I'm like, yo, I'm intrigued about the leads. I'm intrigued about exploring and shit. So yeah, man, I think you should buy it.
All right, good.
I think the price is good. Okay. With that being said, that is going to be the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.
Peace.